No, you go first. I'll be last.
Oh, do you think we're going to miss you?
Yes.
Hi.
I'm Lieutenant Civil Elamine, and when I first got promoted, we have this thing called Target Review, and we go before the chief every 4 weeks or so to talk about our sector. And the first 2 times I would practice by myself and think of the questions that you and Chief Terraso would ask me, so I would be ready because I didn't want to be caught out there. But I guess about the 3rd month, I stopped having to ask what I think you would ask me. They became my questions. They became what I wanted to know. And I think that's the measure of great men, when you can change. When you change the way people think.
Change the filters in it.
Yeah.
When you change the way people think about what we should do, how we should be, how we should please. And I don't know very many great men, but I would say and you too, Chief Terraso.
I know what to stop it. Well, let me say something to my chief. I am not crying. I am not a crier. I am Miss Community Columbia, and we know that. I connected with the chief a few years back. Just when he first came to town, we met through the big guy, Richmond Mayor Doug Wilder, and from that, I really found out that he was a community police officer. The entire police department were community police officers. Couldn't understand what it was all about. Then all of a sudden, I said, who is this chief? Chief Rodney Monroe. Folks are telling. You know, they're calling and they're just telling what's happening in their community. And since he's been here, when I met him about 3 years ago, Richmond Mayor Doug Wilder told me, hey, Chief Monroe is out on the streets. He's just traveling all of the streets to get to know the people, what's going on, what's happening in the community. And I was like, wow, this is great. And just being a part of his life, being a part of National Night Out Against Crime, all of the events that are going on that's centered around the community and family, and I just love it. Crime is down in our city. And we want to get, congratulations, we're on Crime 360. And I just want to say, I love my chief. Now watch this, y'all. Check this out. Your Richmond City Police Chief, this is his last day on the job. Watch, he's going to start crying. Go, Chief. It's your turn.
What can I say? We are made up of a community here in Richmond that I have not seen anywhere in 3 cities now. To see a community come together so fast, so close, for one purpose, and that's to make our community safe. You know, I'm not here to say that, you know, we've solved all the problems and all the issues here in Richmond, but you can best believe that Richmond is well on its way. And I think what's left to do is achievable. I think that the citizens, the commitment that they've made is no turning back. I think that the commitment that the men and women of the Richmond Police Department continue to make will not change. I would think we will only see better and brighter days here in the city. You know, a lot of people say that Richmond is a very fractured city. When it comes to their safety, when it comes to improving the quality of life in communities, Richmond by far is no way a fractured city. It's a city that has mended itself, has come together, and has a voice unlike anything that you would ever hear. And I say to you, keep it going, keep showing the world, the city, everyone else what you're made of and what you can achieve. And from the bottom of my heart, when I sit back and I look at the last 3.5 years and what it's meant, it's not been a job for me. It's been about a series of relationships, hundreds of relationships, individual relationships, group relationships, community relationships that have allowed us to do things that many people said that we couldn't do. When you start talking about that you can have the crime of murder closed 86% of the time, that is something that is unheard of in the country. And when you're talking about somebody that may have an 86 or 90% closure rate, they may have one or two homicides. But you're talking about a city that's continuing to reduce this number of homicides, but increasing the number of citizens' tips. As John mentioned earlier, you had a 14-year-old kid that was, we believe, mistakenly shot and killed the other day. And the number of people that have called, we had to put extra people out there to handle those calls, to be able to respond to the information that we were provided. And I think that, you know, your station is the first one to hear that we've already made 2 arrests in that particular case. There's still more that we look to make. But that's representative of your community, of our community.